workplace as
Right.
well, and a clear.
Right, and I have looked at that, but the one that's posted right now seems to be about race and sex or gender. I can never remember the differences between those two, but and how those are not to be discriminated against, right? And I feel like physical disabilities and mental disabilities often, at least in this place with this guy, get overlooked as something that, so, you know.
Well, as a quick rabbit trail, do you want to know the quick, easy way of difference between sex and gender?
Sure.
Okay. Learning moment.
Right.
The sex is biological.
So what you're born with.
What you're born with.
Right.
Then gender is what you grow up being taught to be.
Right. Makes sense.
So it's more the social.
Right.
So biological versus social.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Anytime.
The more you know.
Right. The social worker in
me. We need that rainbow star. That I don't know if you remember that from PBS, but it was like the more you know. No, maybe it's just the way I grew up. My mom had a bunch of PBS videotapes that she would show us all the time,
right.
Reading Rainbow and all that stuff. And they would always have can't think of big actors from the 90s, but she would always have the commercials would always have some actor and being
right.
AIDS isn't only in the homosexual community, and then there would be a shooting star that leaves a rainbow.
Yeah.
And it would just fall into place, and then the words "the more you know" would phase onto the screen.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good advertising.
Yeah, right. Sorry for getting off track.
It's all good. It's all good. All right. So legal info for having CP days.
Yeah.
And
right. And discrimination laws.
Yeah.
For handicap discrimination laws or whatever. I don't know. People first language. That's what my mother always taught me. For discrimination for people with handicap. I am not my handicap. My handicap just happens to be a part that affects me.
Indeed.
So she says. Then she treats me like it's my person. But no.
Yeah, it's a hard lens to take yourself out of.
Right. Practice what you preach, Mom.
Right. Alright, so anything else you can think of to have as a task for us to work towards?
So we have moving out,
Yep.
which has my mom's financial stability and worked into it. Get Dad to pay child support within a year and a half. That'll be a task. And the workplace discrimination from my supervisor in 6 months.
And so these are pretty much ranked in importance for you.
For my personal importance.
Yeah.
I feel like.
And different timelines for them, but different tasks have.
Right, and if they
can all be done
in the timelines, then good for me.
And a fourth goal that we kind of touched on but didn't really focus too much on was your marijuana use. And I know that we talked about that just as starting off as kind of a pain reliever and then moving more towards recreational use over the last 5 years. And
it did, yeah.
Last time you said that you do kind of feel bad when you use marijuana, that you don't think it's cool, that you feel like it's more peer pressured and you're it's kind of like just something you and your workmates do together rather than.
And since we did meet that last time, it's been cut back.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly what I told you in the last meeting, but it might have even been before we met that it was cut back. But it went from being something that was done every other day to something maybe once or twice a month, right?
Okay.
So don't worry, I'm not high now. I wouldn't come here like that. But no, it's something that's only done once or twice a month, but it's still a social thing. If I'm having a CP day. I tend not to do that because I mean I can't even get out of the house, and if my mom knew I was smoking weed, she'd kill me. So it is something that's like twice a month, and I do still feel bad about it, but not as bad as I did when it was like every other day. And
Gotcha.
yeah, I don't feel like it's as big of a part of my life anymore.
Okay.
Right.
So you don't really want to have it as a goal to completely end it. Just kind of let it sit for a little bit.
It can be one of those little side goals that we have. It doesn't really attach to any of these 3 goals, but I feel like if anything, maybe what we can do. I had a financial course at the community college, right? And one of the things they say is to like. This goes with debt and like getting out of debt. It's like, it's called the snowball effect.
Sure.
So you order your debts from smallest to largest, and then as kind of like rolling down the hill, getting bigger and bigger, you pay off debt by debt by debt, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like my goals are already kind of set that way. So if we can have like a goal 0.5 or something,
right.
Get rid of that. So start with a smaller, easier one, since it's already like, I feel like that's something I can do. We'll give it like a longer timeline, like 7 months to get rid of it, but only because I feel like you need that kind of like time frame to know that it's really something achieved, right?
Right. That it takes 4 weeks to.
Right. They get to get out of your system, but if I go a month without doing it, what's to say that the next month isn't going to be done? But I feel like after like 7 months of not doing it, I can call that a solid. Well, 7 months. 7 months is too long because we have that 6 month with my boss.
Workplace, yeah.
So if we do 5 months, do you want to write that down for me?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to add it in with any other goals, or just have it?
Just
goal?
Yeah, just goal 0.5, 0.5.
Sure.
To end marijuana use.
So within 6 months.
5 months.
5 months. Sorry.
Right. So for the objective, right? So within 5 months, not smoke weed anymore.
So maybe
I don't know how to word that.
Maybe have gone at least 2 months without using marijuana.
Let's say 3. I'm
3
feeling
months?
optimistic
All right.
today.
All right.
Why not? 3 months. 3 out of the
All right.
Yeah, one of the things that does concern me about that is like some of the friends I have in my work are just like, that's the reason I have those friends is
right.
through marijuana use. But if it's something I'm looking to get rid of, then they don't need to be my friends, right?
Huh?
They're just gonna. Well, I mean, if that's gonna end our friendship, right?
Sure.
Then so be it, because it's something I don't want in my life anymore.
Yeah.
And if that's the big
that's
like
the reason that they're friends with you, then
exactly,
they might not be true friends.
Exactly.
More
You know,
situational.
I had friends in high school that did that, and I did too. But I tried quitting for a little bit, and they never pressured me to it. I don't know how these guys are gonna react to it, but we'll see.
Sure. So tasks, maybe talking to those coworkers?
Talk to those guys and just be like, look, bro, you gotta talk to them like they talk, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Look, man, I'm not sure if I really want to do this anymore, you know? And maybe that'll even help with my boss and discrimination. Like, I don't know how much he knows about it, but if he does know anything, and then word gets to him that I've stopped using it, maybe he'll look favorably upon me.
Right.
Grace me with his good looks. Well, not good looks upon me. He's not very handsome.
But go into his good graces.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. So talk to coworkers about marijuana, ending marijuana use.
Alright.
Not buy marijuana.
Save money.
Save money by not buying marijuana, right?
And
Because
put that towards your house.
Right, put that towards the house. the apartment.
Yeah.
We can put, by not buying weed yet, since we're giving myself 3 months of not smoking weed, one of my tasks then should be to smoke all the weed that I have. Now listen to me. Listen. There's logic behind this, right?
Okay.
It's not just an excuse for me to get high, because I don't want to. Or maybe not smoke it all, maybe give it away. But I paid for it, right? That's my money.
I was gonna say that maybe smoking it all might not be the best course of action, but you do know other people that use.
Here's what we'll do.
I'm not advising you to become a drug seller either.
I won't. And here's what we'll do. We will, again, the royal we, I will have a going away bash, right? So this is the logic behind it.
Okay.
So I don't have a lot left, but I have some left, enough for like 4 or 5 joints, right? So if I have a going away bash with my stoner friends, I mean, it's gonna take, I gotta ease off, right? So the going away bash, I kind of like as the host of the party, instead of providing chips and salsa, I provide the marijuana for everyone. I know it sounds bad, but in the bigger picture, right, I don't have any more weed, so I don't have that temptation sitting around. I'm not tossing the money away by giving it to someone for free, just like one person, like here. It's, maybe it can also be a way to keep those friends, right?
Sure.
So it's like, hey, I know I'm not gonna do this anymore, but let me just give you guys, like, we can have like one like cool hangout session where we like sit around and do this, and I supply it for once, and like I take care of it, and then maybe they'll be more inclined to like stick around if
they know you still want to hang out with them,
right,
want to spend time with them, just
right. And then maybe I don't even have to smoke any of the marijuana. Maybe I'll invite 5 people, right? So give all those 5 people the marijuana to smoke there, and just be like, maybe like, I don't know, contact high, no, but just so I'm not feeling like I'm tossing it away, and it's not a waste of money. It's helping me keep my friends, hopefully. We'll see. Like we said, if they don't stay around, then screw them. And yeah, gets rid of the temptation for me.
Sure. Alright, well, I won't write that down as a specific task.
No, you don't have to. That's between you and I, strike this from the record.
But I just want to remind you of the legal repercussions that you could undergo with being caught with marijuana, being that it's illegal. It is your own personal choice.
Right, and I'm not going to invite you, don't worry, I wouldn't put that upon you. I
would have to respectfully decline.
Anyway, I'm sure. Yeah, we don't have to write down the goals, I just felt like I can trust you.
Well, I appreciate you.
Yeah. I mean, we've already talked about the weed usage before, and you didn't turn me in because here I am. So,
and I did talk to my supervisor about that. And that it's a situation where it's not a immediate danger to you.
Right.
And it's not something that is ethically obligatory for me to report to anyone.
But just in case, so you covering your own butt. I get it. Don't worry about it. But this will hopefully be the last time that anything you have to talk to your boss about anything. If you do, that's okay. Maybe I would just separate from myself from it in general and just give it to people. Maybe and spread it out. Maybe it's not a party. Maybe it's like 5 dudes hang out that I happen to have given weed to in the past, and I come and hang out with them. Sorry.
It's your choice, bud.
Sorry, my medication's acting up some little.
Alright, well, since we're kind of winding down as far as our.
Right, serious talk.
Yeah, yeah.
I can only focus for so long. I don't remember if we talked about my ADHD in the last one, but
No, not too much.
in 9th grade I was diagnosed with ADHD, and well, that's when my mom let me know what it was, right? So I've been on medication since I was 12.
Okay.
For something that my mom didn't tell me what it was.
What medication was that?
Ritalin, yeah, that's what it's
Okay.
called. It's moved to, it starts with an A. I can't think of it, but I've changed medication since then.
Oh, okay.
Since I was 12, and then in 9th grade, my mom let me know that the Ritalin was for,
The ADHD.
was for the ADHD, right?
Gotcha.
So that's something for your notes, and also something to explain why I can only seriously focus for so long.
Oh, well, some people, I don't particularly enjoy just focusing on one particular task for a long period of time.
Right. So
it's more fun to have a live conversation than to talk with an outline.
Yeah. Exactly. All right.
Sure, you'll let me know.
Yeah. Do you need anything else from me today?
Let me just check through, make sure that I am working through everything that we need to.
Yeah.
Just real quick.
Yeah.
Something that I was thinking about throughout the meeting but didn't bring up was just kind of a rating system that we could use to assess how well you're doing on each of the tasks that we're doing.
Okay.
And so it could be just a 1 through 5 simple rating system where 1 is the worst, 5 is the best.
Right.
And the way that we could structure it is that 2 is where you're at right now.
Okay.
And so
because I'm taking those steps, right?
Yeah, and so you have 3 steps that can be upwards of like you perfecting our completion of the tasks, and then since you're at 2, you have 1 step that you could potentially take back in not being able to.
Right.
So right now we're at like this is an idea, so this is something that we can potentially do. So which would put it at 2.
Right. That makes sense.
And so 1 would be
not
taking any steps.
Yeah. Is this something that I have to come in for?
No,
this rating system.
We could do it at our next meeting and just kind of assess what level you feel like you're at.
Okay, so it's we don't have to have specific meetings for the rating system.
No.
It can just be as I come in.
Yep. And so just as a kind of generic overarching system, we have our 1 through 5.
Right.
And 2 is where you're at on each of your tasks.
Right.
Today. And so once we leave the meeting, I can get you a copy of our tasks, and you can rate yourself on how well you think that you're doing.
Right.
And then the next time that we come in, we can rate together on how well we're coming along on our progress.
Sounds good to me.
Alright, and then I think we've talked fairly well about just some problems that we could come up with, or that could come up from each of our goals, like with your mom. If she doesn't get a job, having to wait longer with your dad, taking legal action if he doesn't.
Right.
And then
workplace discrimination also taking legal action. Yeah. It's some court stuff, but if it's gonna help me out.
Right. And if your employer is illegally discriminating against you, it's not something that that the law will tolerate.
Right.
So, alright.
Okay.
I think we're good to go.
Thank you very
much. Oh, my bad.
No, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
There's quite a few clients that I use the other hand.
I know. I understand. It's a right-handed dominated world, and I just live in it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming in today.
I appreciate you spending time with me again.
Anytime.
Starting to come around to this whole social work thing.